recap. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Daily Recap. I am Breaky CPK, and today's January 25th, 2018. Of course, we got plenty more to talk about once again today. Some other stuff other than ESL 1 Genting we'll get to later on. But first things first, we are going to kick it off with ESL 1 Genting and get to the point here. Again, I want to try to make these more compact now. These last couple of Daily Recaps I know have been a bit longer. Obviously there's been plenty to talk about with the drama and everything. But I know there's been a lot of the feedback has been that, trying to compress it, trying to get more to the point. So as I'm rambling on here, I'm actually failing at that currently. But no, let's go ahead and jump right into it and talk about some results here for ESL 1 Genting so far. So here we go. We are leading ourselves into what's going to be the main event now. From here on out, they're going to be at the venue and everything. It's going to be a great production, I'm sure. We do have a day break, I want to say, before it does continue. Actually, no, it does kick off tonight. All right, I thought we were going to have a day break in between, but we do not. Anyways, we got some results, so let's go ahead and talk about it. We have our top 6 teams going on to the playoffs. Out of Group A, we had Secret versus Virtus Pro, of course, matched up for the first place match. Secret won that 2-0. A fairly good series overall, but Secret getting the better of Virtus Pro in the end. Mid one being from Malaysia as himself, actually. This event means a lot for him. There was an interview that he did how he would really like to win this event, and I was wrong. I chose Virtus Pro. I thought Virtus Pro with the momentum, not necessarily momentum, but they just seemed like a team that was really on a drive to do very well in this event. They still could potentially do well, of course, still advancing on just down the second place spot, but Secret gets the better of Virtus Pro, so look out for Team Secret. They get the bye to the semifinals. In the battle, the Chinese teams going at it to see which team would advance on and which would be knocked out. Vici Gaming advancing over VGJ Thunder 2-1. Again, outside of Newbie, these two teams are the hot teams right now in the Chinese region, so it's just as fitting that they got to meet up actually in this decisive match here. But again, Vici Gaming getting the better of them. All 3 games, fairly shorter games, 35 minutes being the longest. You see that second game even only 26 minutes, so kind of to the point. But again, Vici Gaming taking that one 2-1, so they move on to the third place seed. Liquid versus Newbie, a hell of an entertaining series, as you almost would expect. I got to catch actually a bit of Game 3 as I woke up a little bit this morning, happened to tune in, and Game 3 was just starting. Oh my god, was this game just a bloodbath? There was something like 30 kills combined in the first 12, 13 minutes, I want to say. They were just running at each other nonstop, and they were clearly having a lot of fun with this game. But Liquid actually getting the better of Newbie this time around once again, and so they get the first place seed. Newbie gets the second place seed, and Evil Geniuses versus Na'Vi. A great epic series, with so much history on the line right there, Ethan. Ultimately, Evil Geniuses defeating Na'Vi to earn that third place seed and knocking Na'Vi out. Of course, to get to that point, EG did have to take out TNC and Na'Vi over Mineski. I actually had TNC coming out as a third place team ultimately going into yesterday. Not that I'm surprised at this result. I am a little bit. I'm not going to lie. EG, I just haven't been sold on this roster. They even dropped a game to Penta early on. Again, they got knocked down to losers initially to Na'Vi. They got 3-0'd by VGJ Thunder in the Galaxy Battles finals going into this event. I wasn't sold on this roster. Getting a little more soul on it, perhaps. It seems like they are making it work come together, and the playing some different roles. They're going to have a great challenge, of course, now in the playoffs as they're matched up against Virtus Pro. Vici Gaming getting matched up against Newbie. It's been quite the run for Vici Gaming, hasn't it? They got to play VGJ Thunder in the first round. Then they got knocked down. They ultimately got a rematch with VGJ Thunder, and now they have to play Newbie. So it's kind of interesting how the Chinese teams are all getting matched up against each other throughout the event. But it's Newbie versus Vici, and you could argue a battle for the top Chinese team right now. Again, this won't necessarily determine that, but I could see that going either way. Absolutely. I'm excited for that matchup, really, because Newbie, we haven't really gotten to see them a lot on the these international competitions, even playing against their respective Chinese brethren here. So we'll see how that one plays out. Virtus Pro versus EG, also another good one. I definitely lean towards Virtus Pro there. And as far as Newbie versus Vici Gaming go, I'm going to go ahead and pick Vici Gaming. I really am sold on this team as of late. They've been looking out. They've been looking good. And thus, I'm going to lean towards Vici Gaming advancing on and claiming a top 4 spot. Against top 4 is really important. It guarantees you at least DAC points. Not DAC points, what am I saying? It guarantees you points towards the Dota 2 Pro circuit. I guess that's DPC points, Dota Pro Circuit. That makes more sense, as well as even bigger prize pool on top of it. But the points are what really matters, what these teams are definitely playing for, of course. And so that'll set up for a VP Liquid semifinals and a secret VG Gaming semifinals as well. So if my predictions happen to be right, and if I'm not mistaken, then these will be the following day, and then the grand finals on a day of its own. So we have 3 days left, so it's going to be a little bit less Dota on each of these days. Again, 2 best-of-3s each of the next following days, and then a best-of-5 finals on the very final day. But I'm really excited to see the production and everything. That leads me into the talk about Facebook again. I'm not going to talk too much about this. We've talked plenty of these previous couple of shows. But just a quick touch on it today. ESL tried to make an update on this whole situation once again going into yesterday. They eventually sent a tweet out. Here, let me click on the tweet, actually. It said, Genting update and clarification. There will be no actions or takedowns from ESL for unmonetized / non-commercial ESL 1 Genting streams. Once again, it's a very, very murky. They did not do it. As you see in my tweet right here, I made a point right after. I was like, this still isn't clear at all. Are they basically saying they won't DMC anyone as long as you are not a partner on Twitch? From my understanding, there was another statement made later on that they were suggesting that being a partner doesn't mean that they're just going to automatically DMCA you. Obviously, this all goes back to, should they even be able to do this in the first place, is the whole argument. That's something, again, we're going to see after this event especially. I'm sure once again we'll hear from Valve, and we'll hopefully get more of this, a much clearer picture of what's going on. But ESL, they're in a spot right now where they're taking a lot of crap, and frankly for good reason in some ways. But it really is just unfortunate for the event, again, for the teams competing and everything, because there is some good Dota going on, and that will continue on into the weekend. So again, ESL 1 Genting, we got Newbie versus VG, and Virtus Pro versus Evil Geniuses. 2 great best-of-3s. Can't wait for those. Going to be happening later on tonight. Moving things on, ESL 1, sticking with ESL 1, but the Katowice event, of course, the American Last Chance qualifiers has been happening, and it sets up, speaking of good Dota tonight, guys, we got a really good matchup right here. It's a best-of-5, the matchup that we expected from this event. Thank God the brackets got changed, man, because, again, these two teams initially, don't forget, these two teams were going to play in the quarterfinals right here. However, Immortals pulled out the event, which caused the seedings to change, as ESL suggested, which then made it so that Animal Planet and Optic Gaming could eventually meet up in the finals. Thank you, Immortals. Thank you, Immortals, for pulling out, I guess, when it comes down to for this event. And again, Animal Planet versus Optic Gaming are going to be matched up tonight. Best of 5, winner will go to the ESL 1 Katowice event, which is a major, obviously a very big deal. They'll be the last of the 16 teams to go to the event. Both teams are definitely worthy. It could go either way. If I had to make a prediction, I want to lean towards Optic Gaming, but man, this is a 5-game series right here. This is going to be a great series, no doubt, and can't wait to watch it come tonight, of course. So, as far as other news, there is more updates on another non-ESL event, the Starladder Invitational, which of course is going to be taking place this next week, an 8-team event. It's a minor event. The group stages were announced, so just quickly glancing over that, we have LGD, Complexity, Liquid, and Infamous in Group A. In Group B, it's Kingwin, Mineski, Newbie, and Empire. I looked at these groups. Personally, I feel like it's fairly even. I don't see either one as an obvious greater than the other. I mean, Group B, it's strong, but I mean, Group A, how I usually look at the strength of groups, I usually go by, can I see the same amount of teams perhaps moving on from either group? If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's two of the top 2 teams advance on to then a single elimination playoff stage, best of 3 and a best of 5 grand final. So pretty straightforward event right here. The group stage matches are going to be best of 3, and it's a GSL format, which is a mini double elimination. So, Group A, I could see LGD, Team Liquid, Complexity, all 3 of those teams advancing on. Group B, Kingwin, Mineski, and Newbie, I could definitely see advancing on. I will say Complexity, again, they looked really shaky here at this event. If they play like they did at the ESL 1 Genting, maybe not, but I still have hope, being the Complexity fan that I am and what I expect of them, that things are going to go well for them. So there you go. Those are the group stages. And another announcement that came out, Epicenter, still a little bit before Epicenter is going to be happening. Epicenter XL, as they're calling it, of course, a major event that will be. They announced a casting opportunity, and it's kind of funny bringing this up because personally I actually am entering this contest, but I bring it up because it's a great opportunity for any tier 2 or however you want to label it kind of casters that maybe don't get the chance for experience. They're going to be sending a amateur caster, a lesser known caster of sorts, to their event to cast at the main stage, at least for the group stages, from my understanding. So to apply for it, you either send them an email at info@epicenter.gg, or you leave a post on this Facebook post, if you can find it right here. You give them your name, your Twitch channel, and you basically just make a point to cast their open qualifiers that are happening throughout these next 3 weekends, I believe. And then the main event qualifiers will be happening I want to say about a month from now or so, as well. So they're going to be happening. Like I did say, the only restrictions are that if you've casted a major event or if you've casted TI itself, then you're not eligible. I have not, so I did make a point that I entered it. I know several others out there that are. Best of luck to everyone, of course. And but the point I'm bringing this up is because it is a cool opportunity. It's cool to see events doing this, and I think that this should honestly be done more because, as somebody that's trying to break into the scene myself, it is very, very, very difficult to do so. And this is just another opportunity to kind of help people like myself, help break into the scene more. So they announced that they're only going to be taking one winner. Perhaps if the talent's that good, though, maybe they'll take multiple. Who knows? There was, as I was doing the daily recap here, before we wrap it up, though, there was another piece of news I wanted to go over real quickly that I forgot to mention initially. Yeah, so VGJ Storm, the American squad, apparently Ryoya is now announced that he is leaving the team. I don't know if this was a he left or the way he worded this suggests that it was a mutual agreement. He says, and I quote, "Thanks to VGJ for everything. It was honestly one of the best experiences I could ever had. Filled with awesome people, and I made many great relationships during my time there, but it's time for something new." So, as you see right there, that's not a post that somebody makes that, got cut for their team in a very, backhand manner. I also, Ryoya Dota, moving on. I did find it interesting. By the way, Garter is replacing him currently as a mid player for the team, which Garter comes from playing position 1 mostly, so very curious about that and how that works out. But Garter, a European player normally, he has had some history playing in the NA scene a little bit, but he is a very, very good player, so we'll see how he fits once again in this new VGJ Storm roster, which is completely changing now. In fact, let's look. What is their... Here, let me click on that. Let's look at VGJ Storm. What is their actual roster now? What does it say on Wikipedia? So we got BSJ. Now we have Garter, Monkeys Forever, Francis Lee, and Stan King is their 5-man roster as of new. So obviously they've gone through quite a bit of changes here with this season. But again, the roster lock, essentially we're getting to the point where you have to make these changes or you're not going to have a time to. So, but what I was getting at, Beef from Complexity, who's the manager overseeing Complexity teams as a whole, including the Dota 2 team, he sent a message over Twitter asking Ryoya to DM him. I don't want to speculate too much into that. There's several rumors going around right now as far as a couple of roster things that could be happening. And being a Complexity fan, I know that they've been having good results, but when it comes to the LAN events, maybe have been having a little bit of hiccups, especially, as I said, here at the CS1 Genting. Not as good as maybe expected. I know that Chessie does have that history of injury he's dealing with, whether or not that's flaring back up. Again, I don't want to make too many speculations right here, but I found that curious. I'll leave it at that. We'll have to wait and see if more comes of that situation right there. But again, you have to make roster changes. Maybe they'll bring him on as a substitute on the team, and so could fill in if need be at the very least for whatever reason. That could be a possibility too. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how that goes. All right, that's going to do it for the daily recap, though. I think we covered what we wanted to. What is January 25th, 2018. Once again, guys, it's really great to see the feedback and the more viewership and everything. It feels like we're picking up some steam now as the month has gone on here. And again, I do these daily recaps every single day, so feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me on Twitter and Facebook. all over the place, including Twitch. So have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time on the Daily Recap.